Hold on there. Do you know that passing someone else's ideas, work and phrases as your own is plagiarism? You should never plagiarize. It's one of the worst things you can do as a student. Well, let's learn a bit more about plagiarism so that you can avoid it in the future. If you're using someone else's work, then you should always do proper referencing. Otherwise, it would be plagiarism. The same applies if you're using your own ideas and words from previous assignment. Not referencing your own work is called self-plagiarism. You should also ensure that you note down all the essential bibliographic details even when you're taking notes. If you plagiarize, you'll be penalized for it. Your assessment may be rejected entirely. If you get someone else to do your work, or you paid the person, or you did not do a substantial part of the research, you will be penalized. So, to avoid being penalized, do your assessments yourself and do proper referencing. There are many kinds of referencing, but as UWE students, you need to use UWE Bristol Harvard referencing. UWE Bristol Harvard referencing is the system of referencing that students on most UWE programs are expected to use in their academic work. The best source of information for referencing is the UWE Bristol Harvard referencing page on the UWE website. It's important that you use this page every time you're doing any work that needs referencing. You need to use the proper UWE Bristol Harvard style citations and end-of-text referencing in order to do a good piece of work. So, what are citations and end-of-text referencing? A citation is what you would include in the paragraphs or the main body of your essay or report. However, the end-of-text referencing is a detailed list of all the sources you have cited in the body. This reference list is included at the end of the paper. Let's have a closer look at citing. If the citation is for an idea, a paraphrase, or a summary, you'd need to have the author's name and the year of publication at the end of the sentence, or in another part of the sentence. However, if the author is mentioned within the sentence itself, you'll only need to give the year of publication within the brackets. So what do you do if there is more than one author? Well, simple. You write the last names of all the authors in the citation. However, if there are 4 or more authors, only the surname of the first author should be given, followed by et al. In italics. As you can see, if you are referring to, paraphrasing, or summarizing someone else's work, you have to include 2 pieces of information in the citation: the author's name and the year of publication. But if you're taking the exact phrase or sentence from someone else's work, which is also known as quoting, you need to include one additional piece of information: the page number. This means that if you're using a quotation from the source, you'd need to give the author's name, the year of publication of the source, and the page number where you found the quotation. You should keep in mind though that using more quotations shows a lower level of actual knowledge, so it's better to paraphrase or summarize rather than use many quotations. Now let's look at the reference list. An end-of-the-text reference or reference list refers to all the items that you include in detail in a reference list at the end of your essay, report, presentation, or other work. Remember, when you're writing your reference list, you only include sources you have mentioned in the body of your work, and it should be in alphabetical order. There are a few things you need to remember when writing your reference list. The information you include in the reference list and the format depends on what you have sourced your information from. For example, if the reference is a book, the title of the book will be followed by the place of publication and the publisher in this format with a colon separator. As you can see, the title of the book is written in italics and with initial capitals, except for grammatical words. But if it is a journal entry, only the journal name is written in italics. Now, let's see what details need to be included in the reference entry of a journal. If the reference is a journal, then the title is followed by the volume number, then the issue number in round brackets, then a comma and the page range. This is followed by a full stop. If the reference is online, the last part of the entry will be the access date given within square brackets followed by a full stop. The access date has to be given with the day, in 2 numerals followed by the month and then the year. Also notice that for online references, the word online is written before the full stop after the title in square brackets. Now let's take a look at the different parts of the reference list entry. First, you need to write the author's names. They have to be given last name first, followed by the initials. The last name has to be followed by a comma and space. The initials have to be followed by full stops after each letter. If there are 2 or more names, each name has to be separated from the previous one by a comma as well. Before the last name in the list of authors, there should be an and instead of a comma. The list of names will be followed by a space and the date of publication in round brackets followed by a space. After this comes the title of the book, article or website. As discussed before, the title of the book or journal has a particular formatting. Let's see if you remember. Which of these is a book? Correct. The book entry has a title in italics along with the place of publication and name of the publisher. Do you notice something else about the title? Well, you see, the first letter of each word is written in capital letters. In Microsoft Word, they are known as initial caps. Initial caps for your referencing mean that all non-grammatical words as well as all grammatical words longer than 3 letters or at the beginning of the title are capitalized. Grammatical words anywhere else in the title will not be capitalized. Let's see. I think I have covered most of the essential aspects of plagiarism and referencing. So, do you think you can write a good essay with proper referencing now? If you need any more information, register for one of our etudes or join all the other students in the VC Etudes Viber community. Thank you for watching.